Hi guys, welcome to Code and Play. My name is Suman. Today, the video will be about a topic that I was thinking to make in Unity. So in the last video, I showed you the progress that I have been making in MobWars. In Unity, as I was like adding some screens, working out the UI and all that. So as I was working on that game, I like came across some very interesting topics. For example, I want to show missions in that game, okay, from a file named as missions.json. Why I'm doing this? Because I want to load the missions at runtime. There are so many missions that I want to maybe add in the future, maybe change the data values in the future. So I don't have to change the code every time. I just change this file and it will automatically update the missions in the game. This is what my idea was at first. Then I came across some problems in Unity in UI. In the case of UI, the problem was, well, what I was doing in Unity is this. I had a main panel, right? In that main panel, I have scroll view and all that. But the point here is, in the main panel, the missions are shown through a prefab. So what is a prefab? A prefab is a game object that can be used and loaded at runtime. Okay, you can use this prefab and create game objects at runtime through code. So I'm using this concept called prefab to load missions at runtime. But the problem here is, this is an asset, not a game object. This is an asset. Unity considers prefabs as assets. What are assets? Assets are like files. Okay, they are like animation files or object files or script files. They are like files. They are stored in a folder called asset. In the game structure, in the game folder structure, there will be a folder called assets, and these assets are stored in that folder. So Unity consider these prefabs as assets. Okay, now the problem here is, these assets doesn't interact with game objects directly. What do I mean? For example, in this case, the missions are loaded through prefabs, right? What I'm saying is, let's say the prefab has a name like this. So the mission name will be on top, and at the below this there will be a description, not the same font but little bit different font. And then we have requirements, then we have rewards, right? So this is a structure in the prefab. I try to like add some icons, images and all that, but the point of the concept is this: prefab is a predefined object that will be loaded at runtime. That was the concept, right? Now the problem here is, when I click on this prefab, it should load a dialog box or a dialog panel. In that dialog panel, you should see more about what you did in the mission. For example, the mission name is shown, of course, the requirements and rewards is shown, but the dialog panel will show you how much energy you spent on the mission, right? And there are also requirements. So did you fulfill the requirement? If fulfilled, then energy will be spent and you will see mission successful dialog, right? Or if there is a dialogue between any two NPCs after this mission, this will be shown in the dialog panel. So what I'm doing here is, I am trying to link this prefab to a panel in the game. So when I click on the prefab, this panel will load, and in the panel we will see more information. This is what I was thinking. But the problem was, these are assets. and these are game objects. Dialog panel is a panel in UI that is created in the hierarchy window. You know, the window that we see on the left side, right? So the hierarchy window where main panel, home panel, and all these panels, canvases are all created, dialog panel is also a part of it, but prefab is not. And this is where there is a problem that arises in the UI. The prefab is unable to link with dialog panel. Dialog panel doesn't default itself back to the prefab. So there are some problems going on. So I'm trying to figure out these problems, and I'll find out a solution. Of course, there is a solution for every problem. So in the meantime, what I'm thinking here is, well, this is completely UI based problem, and as a programmer, I know there is a solution for every problem. As a programmer, this is our job to find the solutions. So just to distract myself and also to actually work on this game even further, what I'm trying to do now is I'm not going to ignore this, but I'm going to keep this problem aside. And first of all, I'm going to load this file. Okay, I want to load this file and see if I can actually call the missions or not. Because once I figure this out, the ultimate goal of this concept is to load this file, right? The ultimate goal is to load this file. So whatever the arrays, objects, whatever the information that I have in the JSON, that will be loaded into my game. So that is the final objective. Figuring this out is not an issue, but the problem is this missions.json. So today I thought about why not figure this out together on stream. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a missions.json file, and I'm going to use a Java class. Why Java class? Because well, working in Unity is time taking. If I make a small mistake in the code, it will update for another 1 minute, 2 minutes. It's a waste of time. So instead of wasting time in Unity, I thought, why not do the same thing in Eclipse and then use those things in Unity, because program is almost similar. Whatever you write in Java class is also same thing in C#. So whatever you do here is also the same thing in Unity. So why not just do it here and then implement the same things in Unity itself instead of wasting time there, right? So I thought about making this Java class, and I will try to read the JSON file and extract data from it. Okay, then I will use this Java class to hold the data. For example, I have a data in the missions, right? The Java class name is like mission. This is the mission.java. This is the class name. Now in this mission.java, I have mission names and all the structure and everything, like constructors, functions, and everything. So I will write this code, and I will find out how to shape the data properly, how to extract the data, what is the best solution, what is the best way to implement this concept, right? So this way I don't have to waste a lot of time waiting for the updating and everything. In Java it is very fast. So let's do it. Okay, so the concept here is, I have a JSON. I'm going to make it, but I have a JSON, and I need to read the JSON, and I need to extract the data and present it on the screen. Show that show to the player, right? Present the data to the player. Now, why I'm doing this? You might be asking why I'm doing this JSON and all that. Why is so much complication? Why not just directly write the code in the write the array in the code itself and load it from the array? Well, the problem here is, if you write anything in the code, if you want to change anything, you have to change the actual file, the actual version, right? Let me explain. Well, any app has two ends. Okay, this is the front end and the second one is the back end. The front end is nothing but the view that you see, also called the layouts slash view, and the back end is nothing but the code slash program. So whatever change you do in these two, you must update the entire app itself, right? So instead of, let's say I want to change a small value in the code, so instead of just a variable value, I have to now update the entire app. It's a waste of time. So as a programmer, your application must be end user ready. End user ready means you should able to make the application as seamless as possible. Try to make it as seamless as possible. It might not be as seamless as possible. It might not be the like best application, but try to make it as seamless as possible. What do I mean by this? I mean, just to change a variable value, you should not have to update the entire app. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so just to change a value in the missions in the future, let's say I want to add a cash reward. Okay, I just want to like make a cash reward little bit more. For example, in the first mission, I said the cash reward is $100, but the update must be $150. So let's say in the missions, the missions 1, the rewards is cash plus $100. This is the like data that I had. Okay, but now I want to make this to 150. Now just to change a small value, I don't have to update the entire app. That is what I'm trying to say. This is why I'm using JSON. In JSON, whenever I change the value to 150, it will automatically update the view itself. Okay, this is what I'm doing here. So I'm not changing the data again and again in the code. I'm changing the data in the JSON file so that it will update automatically at runtime. Right? So let's do this concept today. For this, I'm using Java. So let's create a new file, a new project, Java project. Let's say JSON or missions from, let's say missions, MobWars missions. Yeah, MobWars missions. Okay, this is the project name. Now in this project name, I don't need info. I can delete this. Okay. Now, first of all, JSON is a separate file, right? To access this JSON, you should know how JSON looks like and how JSON works in the code. So what does JSON look like? Well, JSON is an array. It's a simple array like this. And in this array, you have key, you have a key in the left side, and you have a value in the right side. This is an array. Now, if you want to add more data, you just add like comma and one more data at the bottom, right? So let's say in the missions, I want to add name, I want to add rewards, description and everything. So what do? I just make an array like this and I want to add it. I just add like this. For example, the array name is missions. Okay. Let me write it properly. So the array name is missions. Right? This is the array. Now, in this array, I'm going to have multiple missions, not just one, multiple. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, like this. So this is mission 1, this is mission 2 and mission 3. So in the mission, we have key called name, like mission 1, or any other name like stealing a bank. Since it's a mob game, mafia game, so it's like stealing banks or raiding a gang members or anything like that. Raiding hideouts, like that. So this is the name. This is another name, mission 2, and this is another name, mission 3, right? So every mission will have a reward system. So rewards, or reward is like, let's say cash plus $100. Okay, this one is having a reward like this, whereas the second one, it's a reward little bit more. Third one will give a little bit more, right? So this is a JSON. This is how JSON looks like. If you are doing this in XML, then you should imagine each and every key as a tag. Okay, in XML, this is how it looks like. Missions, right? Each and every like key is a tag. So this is a name. In that name we have mission 1, name close, like this. And again reward, we have cash plus $100, right? So this is how we have missions. Understand? So in this case this is XML, in this case this is JSON. It doesn't matter how you store your data. The concept here is to access it and show it to the user in a readable way, not in like this. Okay, not like this, not the data like this. I want to show the viewer like this: mission name, description, requirement, rewards. There will be some small icons, there will be some small images and all that, right? So I want to show the information like this. So how do we turn this into this? That is the point. That is the point that I'm going to show in Java today. So first of all, we have the JSON. Let's create a class here called main class. com.1.game main method. So I'm doing like, I'm just writing the code first of all, just to see if the file actually loads or not. So how to make a JSON file here? Basically this JSON data will be loading from the server. Okay, in this case I am writing a single player game, so I'm preloading the file into a, like, I'm preloading this data into a file. Since it is a single player game, I will save this file somewhere in the game. So let's copy this, go here, let's right click on the project folder and say new source folder, res sorry, res, right click on res, new file. This file name is missions.json. Okay, just paste this, that's it. If you want to know is this this pattern is correct or not, if you want to know if this is having any errors or not, you can go to the website and you can search it. There are many JSON validators. Just type JSON formatter and not this, just JSON formatter, and you will see many JSON formatters. Just go here and yeah, just paste this and see validate. If it is correct, it is valid JSON. If there is any problem, let's say there is this comma missing, then it will automatically show the error, right? Since I know that the error is here, I'll just correct it and I'll validate this. So it's a valid JSON. Now beautify this. So this is our JSON, right? Let's copy this and use it in our code. So this is our file. I can use this format or this format. Anything is fine. Anything is both readable. Anything is fine. So this is our JSON file, right? Missions.json. Now I need to load this file into my program. How? Let's see. Let's find out. Main class. This is the constructor. Public main class. Okay. File f equal to new file. Right. res/ missions.json. This is the toughest part. I have to find out how Java works, because there is more than one way of loading files. So I have to see if this is working or not. There is an error. No error. Okay. System file f. Does it show anything? It is just showing the name. Okay, let's try to load this. Buffered reader br equal to new buffered reader. Since it is a string, so I'm loading it in a buffered reader. New file reader of f. Right, what is saying? Try catch. Okay, try catch done. Next, system out, or first of all is saying string s equal to br.readLine, right? Read the line. And sound catch, add catch. Yeah, that's it. Done. Now we say s. So print s. If it is reading properly, then it will actually load the file. Okay, it loaded the first line. It loaded this line. So it actually read the file, but since it is not reading the entire file, I have to write a loop for this. I should read multiple lines. What to do? Well, the thing is, we must write a while loop here. While s equal to br readLine not equal to null. This is our read line, and if it is not equal to null, then load this. Right, now it should load the entire file. See, there it is. See, so missions, name, reward, everything is loaded. Right, so we loaded the file. br.close. Right, so we loaded the file here by using this line, and we read the file. That's good. But how to convert this string into JSON object? Well, to do this in Unity as well as in Java, we have a class. We have a specific class or package to do that. What do we have in Unity as well as in Java? As I'm saying, both have similar programs. This is why I'm using Java here to explain the code, because both have similar codes, similar programs, similar codes. So in Unity, to read the file and extract the JSON object from it, we have JSON utility. This is a class. You can go to Unity and search this. JSON utility, Unity. There it is, JSON utility. So provides functions for converting objects. Here, can you read this? Provides functions for converting objects between objects and JSON data. So converting between objects and JSON data. So you have a JSON data, you can convert it to an object, or if you have an object, you can convert it to JSON data. So you can do it vice versa. For example, this is the game state, like you're playing a game, right? In the game state, you have lives, level, character name, and items carried, your inventory, all this. All this is the data that you have to store as a save file. So where are you storing this? You're storing this in player prefs. This one. Player prefs is a inbuilt device storage mechanism or a class that can store your data in the system. That means if you are working if you are playing this game on a PC, it will store the data in the PC. If you are playing on a tablet, it will do it in a tablet. If you are on a mobile phone, it will do in a mobile phone. So wherever you are playing the data or playing the game, it will save the data in that device. This is player prefs. Okay, so this is the data that you want to store. Where is it stored? It is stored in the player prefs using a name. What name? Saved game state. This is the name. This is the file name. Okay, saved game state.dat. That is the final data file. So this will be stored. And which format will it be stored? It will be stored in a JSON format. You can see string JSON to JSON. To JSON means convert this object into JSON, to JSON. Okay, so once you save this, if you want to read it back, if you want to load the game back, so you say from JSON. Okay, so you return that object back to game state. So you read the JSON file, you return it back to the game state. That means back to the object. So from JSON to object, and from object to JSON. This is how we do in Unity, JSON utility. To JSON and from JSON. This is the two functions that the JSON utility is providing us. Okay, this is what we do in Unity. Here it is. From JSON creates an object from its JSON representation. To JSON creates a JSON representation of the public fields of an object. So convert a class object into a JSON using to JSON, and convert a JSON file into an object, class object, using from JSON. Right? So this is how we do in Unity. What do we do in Java? Well, we do the same thing in Java. We use a JSON object. In Java, we have JSON packages. JSON packages, basically, what I'm trying to say here is there are like plugins that you can install and you can work on it. Okay, one of the plugin I'm using here is called org.json. This is a plugin, or you can say package. In this package you have JSON object. JSON object. This is a class. In Unity it is inbuilt. In Java you have to install it. I'll show you how to install it, don't worry. So this is the similarity. In Unity you have JSON utility. In Java you have JSON object. Both have similar functions. This has to JSON from JSON. This has put get. Okay, JSON object dot put, which means put the value into JSON, and JSON object dot get means get the value from JSON. Put get. This one is to JSON from JSON. This is put get. This is how you have similar functionalities. Okay. First of all, let's see how to install this org.json into our project. So org.json is a package which is separately given. You can get it from MVN repository. Yeah, you can see this MVN repository. Just type it like this, MVN repository. Okay, and JSON in Google, MVN repository JSON. You will see in the second link here, JSON libraries. You will see all the JSON libraries that you want. Well, there are lots of different types of JSON libraries. There are multiple people who are using these as well. One is JSON, mostly used for web and web architecture mainly. Works on core streaming API. Streaming API, you can think as it as streaming API could be like connecting databases, connecting servers, seamless connections from server and application like that. Okay, so for server side applications you are using JSON data bind, or you can also use JSON from Google. Okay, JSON as well. I am using this one, org.json. This is lightweight. This doesn't have all the overweight of like server side, client side and all that. This is just a simple class, JSON object, nothing else. So I'm using this. Like this class or this package is good for like standalone applications. Standalone applications basically means single player games or something like that. If you want to like have a simple client application where you don't have any server connection or anything, this is the best one. You can also use this in servers. I'm not saying this is worst or anything. You can also use this in servers as it is said here. You can also use it with XML, HTTPs, cookies and CDL. The thing here is this is not that well optimized. Okay, this is good for like it is like a lightweight application. It is not having all the like classes and objects of these two. You don't have that kind of representation of these two. Okay, JSON and Jackson are the most popular ones. You can also find codes for them. You have many tutorials available for them. JSON in Java or org.json is the most lightweight application. So I'm using this. This is just preference. There is no like this one is better, that one is better. No, it's just preference. I just prefer this. That's all. Now, how do we get this? This is the org.json file. How do we get this? Well, first of all, you should go to the central library here. There are so many libraries. There are so many different libraries here. Go for the central one. In the central one, the now latest one is May 17, 2025. So I'm downloading that. Click here. Here you will see there are two versions. In the files section, there are two versions, POM and bundle. I'm going for bundle. Bundle is giving me jar file. POM is not for me, so I'm going for bundle. Okay. If you are not downloading the file, if you just want to like you use it from Gradle or something like that, like MV and Gradle repositories, you can also use this code. If you are using code editors, IDEs like JetBrains or IntelliJ IDEA, you can use Gradle implementation in that. So in case of Gradle implementation, you can use this. Just Groovy long, you have this. Or if you're going for Kotlin, Kotlin is having simple like this. Okay. Source, you can say runtime or test. Mostly use compile. Compile is the best one, right? So this one is for this. And if you want the file, you just go for the bundle. Download the bundle and it will give you a file. How does the file look like? Well, let me show you how does the file look like. g/JSON-libs. Okay, this is the file. So this is the file that is downloaded here, 80 KB. This one, 80 KB. Okay. So once you download the file, once you got the file, what happens now? Well, we don't need this website anymore. And if you want any more like details about this, how to write the code and everything, you can go to the GitHub. The GitHub is here. Just click on the GitHub folder and you will see there is a README at the bottom. Yeah, here it is. So this is the code. JSON object print JO. That means the JSON object. Simple. Okay, and this is how it looks like. JSON objects. There are some notes as well. If you want to read some files, you can also read some more class files and all that implementations. If you are heavily into the code structure and everything, you can go to the files. Now, this is how we can read the documentation from here. Let's go back to the code. Okay, so this is for the JSON utility in Unity. We will come back to this later. Reset. Yeah. Now, where are we? JSON utility file. Yes. So now we got the file here. We downloaded the file. Now it is time to install this file. How do we install this? First of all, right click on your project folder. Go to properties. Java build path. Okay, let me show it. Okay, can you see Java build path? Here you will see projects and libraries. Well, libraries will like libraries is about the entire Java folder itself. Project means only this project. You can use libraries or projects, anything. I'm using libraries. So in the library, click on module path, go to external jar files, add external jar files, select the folder where it is, select the file and click open. So it will open the, it will link the file in the module path, right? Select the module path, add external jar files, it will link the jar file. Now you apply and close, and you will see the reference libraries are here, JSON jar file. Now this is not enough, this is just installed. If I write a code here, it will still show errors. You'll see, wait a minute, where is that? If I write a code here, for example, JSON object, you will able to see the link up. Okay, now obj equal to new JSON object. What happens here is it is going to show error. See, it is saying no class definition found error. Why is it saying that? Because we linked the file, we didn't specify the class path, we didn't specify where it will compile from. So basically what I did is I just linked the file, I didn't compile the file. So to compile the file, I have to go back again, properties. Okay, where is it? In the class path, click on class path, go here, add variable, class path, add variable. See, class path, add variable. Okay, now in the add variable, I have to configure the variables. Class path, add variables, configure variables. Here I say new. In the path, I say JSON lib, just a name. Okay, I can also use JSON. We should wait. Let me redo it. So what I was saying is, here if you write this code, JSON object obj equal to new JSON object, you will run into an error. What is the error? The error is class not found error. See, JSON object, no class definition found error. Why is it going like this? Why is it showing error here? Well, the problem here is your Java is actually loading the file, but it is unable to execute the file. Okay, so to understand this, you have to understand what I'm actually trying to say here. So how does Java actually works? So Java compiles your code, PILE, compile the code and then execute the code. So I linked the file to compile. I linked here to compile, but I didn't give the class path to execute. This is why it is showing error. I linked it. See, it is here in the referenced libraries. This is why I'm able to call the class. But when I try to execute this, it runs into errors. It runs into errors because there is no class path to execute. So this is the link. This is the second link that I have to provide. So how do I provide this? Right click on the project folder, go to properties, click on class path. Okay, click on class path here, class path, add variable, and add this variable. I already had this variable, so let me delete this. Let me delete this. Can I configure? Yeah, JSON lib, remove. So let's add the variable again. So what to do? When you go to the class path, Okay. Okay. Remove. Yeah. So when I go to the class path, add variable, it is still there. Wait a minute. Let me remove it and show it to you again. Okay. Remove this. Said apply and close. Okay. And yeah. Class path, add variable. Fine. Okay. Cancel. So now if I go again back to this properties, class path, add variable. Yeah, now we don't have it. So let me show you how to link that file. So what to do now is click configure variables. Okay, here we say new. In the new, I'm saying JSON file, something, just a name, nothing else. So in the path folder, I'm saying file. I'm not linking the folder, I'm linking the file. If I had a like group of packages, I will be linking the folder. Since I don't have group of packages, I only have one single file, so I'm linking the file. Where is the file? Just click the link and select here, open, and you have the file, right? Click OK, and here is the file. Now apply and close, and the file is here. Okay, and you have the JSON file, right? Apply and close, and now you won't see anything here, but if you execute this, there will be no problems. See, no errors, no exceptions, everything loading fine, right? Without the class file, you will see errors. With the class file, there is no problem. So this is how Java executes. First line is link the file to compile. Second line is link the class path to execute. So I linked this, but I didn't do this. That's why there was exceptions. But now when I did this, there is no exception, right? So now we have the JSON object working, and we have a string. So how to do this? Well, to work with this, first of all, I should explain how JSON object is used. So JSON object, okay, JSON object obj equal to new JSON object can convert a string into an object. So let's say this is a string, str equal to, this is a string. Right? So in this string, inside this string, you have name. Well, I should give escape sequences, because if I give like this, Java thinks these two are strings, but I should make the Java think that this entire is a string. So to work with this, I should use escape sequences. Okay. So to write properly, I should write like this: name Suman. Now wherever I said this, just put escape sequences and it work like this, right? So this is our string str. What does JSON object do? It can convert this string into an object, and it can show you the string like this. So obj, just execute obj, and you will see this. See, as I said, JSON object can convert any string into an object. Why I'm saying this? Because I am doing the same thing here. I have a string which I have to convert it into an object. And what does the object look like? If you see here, this is an object. Anything between these two brackets, bracket and bracket is an object. So from here till this entire last one, this entire thing is an object. So what the Java should do is it should convert this entire JSON array into an object and then present it to me as a JSON object. So how do we do that? Let's try here. Since we have the string, right? We are having the string. Let's convert this JSON object obj equal to new JSON object s, object of s. Now let's comment this all, right? So now let's print this. Let's see what we get. Obj. It should convert the entire object. Oh, there is a problem. The JSON object text must end with this. As I said, everything between those two brackets is considered an object. So what is the error here? Well, the error here is actually at line 1, character 2. So to understand this, I have to go back to the JSON and show you what is problem here. Line 1, character 2, which means this part. This part. There is no character here. There is no close brace like this. This is what JSON is saying. This is what the code is saying. You are giving me this, but where is the next part? The next part is not there. Why is it not there? If I execute this, again, you will see system out s. If I execute this again, you will see that the entire file is reading, right? So why is it not taking the file? Well, the problem here is not the file itself. It is the way we are reading it. The problem here is not the file. The file is fine, but the way we are reading it is the problem. We are reading it line by line. Line by line basically means like this. This is the first line. This is the second line. This is the third line, like that. So we are reading line by line. In JSON, this is not allowed. JSON object requires the entire thing, not line by line. So how do we make it read the entire thing? Well, this is where some Java concepts comes out. We call this string builder, JSON string builder. In C# we also have string builder. We do the same thing in C# as well. But in C#, this part is already managed, so we don't need this much level of detail. Okay, in Java it is required. In C# it is already handled. That is the only advantage. String builder, str equal to new string builder. Right? So what I'm doing here is, when I read the JSON, right? When I read the line, I will add that line to the string plus equal to, or simply say dot append s. Okay, so instead of printing this, I'll just append this. So whatever string it is reading line by line, it is going to append it into the string builder. At the end of the code, I'll simply print the string str.toString, and we will see what is printing here. So when I load this, yeah, you see, this is one continuous string. It is not multiple lines anymore. It is one single string. So what are these gaps? Well, these gaps are the line spaces that my file had here. These gaps, right? So how do we remove those gaps? Well, just trim, string functions, trim, that's it. So now we have a single continuous array or object, single continuous object. Now we can use this object and convert this into a JSON object. Now let's see. JSON object obj equal to new JSON object of str dot toString. So you convert that entire string into a JSON object. Now if I execute system out obj.get, as I said, we have get and put. In Unity you have to JSON from JSON. In this we have get and put. So I'm saying get missions. Okay, what is it going to get? It is going to get this missions. So what I'm saying, show this entire array. Let's see if it will show the entire array or not. Execute. Yeah, you see, reward, 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 right? So it is showing the entire array. What if I don't give any missions? What if I simply say obj and just execute? It will show the entire object as it is, right? So this is how we converted the converted the string into a JSON object. What did we do? We took the file, we read the file, and we completely converted the file into a JSON object. Now from here, what I should do is I should read the array. The simple way is JSON array. JSON array. Yeah. So we took the string and converted to object. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract this array. This is an array. Yes. How do I know? Well, in JSON, this is object and this is array. So whatever you have between this is array, between this is object. Arrays can have objects and objects can have arrays. It is just a way to represent data. It is like object is an individual, array is a collection. Okay, for example, each NPC can have multiple quests. So each NPC is an object, multiple quests in the NPC are arrays. Like that, you have to think in that way. Object is an individual entity and array is a collection, of data. Okay, it could be collection of items, collection of quests, collection of missions, collection of rewards, anything. It could be a collection. So object is individual, array is collection. Don't confuse with that. Okay, so as I'm saying, this is a collection. Missions, there are multiple missions here. So I have to extract this data and then use each individual mission and show it on the screen. So how do we do that? We do that using, where is it? Array, JSON array. This is a class. This is also a class in this file org.json. So let's use this file. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say object dot get JSON array missions. So when I say get JSON array missions, I'm saying get this entire array, okay. How many like objects you have in that depends on the array, but it will get the entire array. Now once you have the array, where is this? Once you have the array, what happens next? Well, now we are going to show the array individually. I'm going to say for no, instead of for, I can simply just print the array. I can show you how it looks like. Dot get 0. I'm back. Sorry, I was having some issues, technical issues here. Let me just plug this in. Right. So if I start this, you see, let's close this one and you will see that this is showing the first object, right? Because I said 0, right? If I use 1, it will show the second object. mission 2, and similar vice versa 3. So I can easily segregate this using JSON array, right? 3 is not found. Oh, so sorry. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Index is important. Yes. So as you can see, these three things, these three objects are actually part of the missions.java object, missions.json object, and in this I have successfully read the entire JSON file, converted into a JSON object, then extracted the JSON array, and also I have extracted the objects from the JSON array. So this is how we do in Java. Okay, now up to here is fine. We can actually see the output here. You can see these are showing like this, but I don't want to see like this. I said I want to see mission name, reward, like that, right? In this way, this manner. So if I want to show the information like this, then we need to do something. We can't show it like this, because if I write this way, for example, I said mission name, right? Mission name plus ARR1 of get 0, right? Dot. Okay, this is actually JSON array. So what I need to do is I have to convert this into an object. So how do I convert this into an object? I have to say JSON object ob1 equal to ARR1 dot get 0. JSON object ob1 equal to ARR dot get 0 dot get, or you can say get JSON object 0. And from here I can easily say like ob1 dot get string name, right? That was the thing. So if I execute this, I will see mission name mission1, right? So writing the code like this is fine, but instead of showing this way, I want to like group them into objects, proper objects, class objects, like prefabs. Then it needs some tweaking. We need to like change some things here. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some classes. So first class I'm going to create here is load JSON class. Okay, so what is this class going to do? It is going to load the JSON. It has a public static string method called load JSON or load file, load from path. Okay, here I'm going to pass the path. So what is it going to have? It is going to be having this, the file path that I am passing from here. It will be in the load JSON file. Instead of saying like this, I'll simply say path. Okay, or if you already have all the like specific folder for that, you can say JSON files / plus path, like this, right? So in this way you can also organize the files properly. Right now I don't have anything like this, so I'm just saying res / path. So whatever the path I pass here, it will just go here and it will execute the code, right? Next line is this buffered reader. So I'm going to read this buffered reader. I'm going to transfer all of this part, this entire part, from here to this file. Why? Let me explain. So when I say like this, what happens here is, wait, try for the entire thing, not just that part. So try catch IO exception, right? ex IO exception ex dot print stack trace, right? So in this case, what happens here is, yeah, first of all, I'm loading the file, right? First I load the file, then I read the file, and I build a string, and then once the string is done, what I will do, I will simply br.close, right, and get this out like this, string builder str, right, str equal to null, or I can just write this entire thing outside, doesn't need to be in the code. Right, so the string is here, and we are reading the string, we are executing the code, and finally once this entire loop executes, now we return the str.toString. We simply return it. If this works, then we will get the output as a JSON array, JSON object. If this doesn't work, if there is any error in this case, we will get null. Simple. So this class will load the code from this file. So how do I call this? Simply go here, and instead of using try, I simply say load JSON dot load from path. Which path? Press / missions dot JSON. So this is the file that loads. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this file into a string. Okay, I'm going to pass this file into a string, and I'm going to use that string here. Or we can also decrease this lines of code by directly loading it here. One single line and your program is your program is ready. So one single line and your program is ready. Close is not needed, right? So we have the load.json, load JSON from file, pass the JSON object, and we have the array. Let's see if it works. Load. Yeah, it's loading. Everything is working fine. Now the second part, the second class that I'm going to use here is mission class. Mission.java. MISSION mission.java. So this class will have some functions. Private string name and private string reward. So this function constructor will get the input like this, JSON object. Okay, we will pass a JSON object directly to this. Here this dot name equal to obj dot get string name. This dot reward equal to obj dot get string reward. Easy. And now we have public string get name, public string get name, return name, and public string get reward, return reward. So this is our plain old Java class, Pojo class. This is called Pojo class. Plain old Java class. what is the use of this? Well, it is used as a, you can say, data, to hold data. Okay, if you want to learn about this, you can go here and search Pojo. Okay, so Pojo classes, if you search Pojo classes, you will see Pojo stands for plain old Java object. A Pojo class is a simple Java class that follows basic Java conventions and encapsulates data. It is not bound by any specific framework or library restrictions beyond the standard Java language specification. This is just a normal class. This is what it says. Okay. Now, what is the use of this? The use is encapsulation. It typically uses private fields, as I used here. Private. Right? And access and mutators. Get name, set name. I also have get name, set name. I have get name, set is by default in the constructor. Then what else do we have? Constructors, I used it. Simplicity and reusability. Pojo are valued for simplicity, readability, and ease of maintenance, making them highly reusable across different parts of the various frameworks. Okay, no external dependencies. This is basically like it works as a framework for the object. Whatever the object you are using, in this case, I'm using missions. So this acts as a framework. Okay, in this case, in Unity, if I want to show all of this in the prefab has these objects. So I don't have to specifically say like this. I don't have to say like what, prefab, right? Prefab dot get component pmp underscore text and dot text equal to, I don't have to write like this. I simply say set components. Okay, I simply say set components and I will pass the object mission obj. That's it. This function itself is coming from a class. Let's say we have a class like mission class, or simply just use new mission object. So automatically this prefab will be populated as soon as this mission class is created. Understand? It is kind of like, if you have to understand how this program works, this part I will explain in the Unity video. So this is how it looks like. So for example, here you say private product quantity and all that, and at the bottom, see, you have set get. So these functions will be used to set and get the value instead of variables, right? We don't use the variables directly. We will use the functions to set and get the values. What is the purpose of this? Well, this will simplify the data, the reading of data. You don't have to like use any like comments or anything. By default, you know what is name and what is reward. Mission.name, mission name, mission.reward, mission reward. That's what it is. Let me show you that. So in this case, each and every object is one single object, right? So instead of doing like this, what I will do is I will create a new mission object. Mission m1 equal to new mission, right? Here I am saying arr1 dot get JSON object 0. So m1 is 0. Likewise, I am using m2, m3. This is like this. Okay, m2 and m3. Now instead of writing like this, I simply say system out what m1 dot get name plus m1 dot get reward, means mission name, mission reward, mission 1 name, mission 1 reward. So what is mission name, mission 1 reward? Mission 1 cash this much. Easy, right? So instead of writing like system.out.println and all that, we simply just pass these values to the mission object and use these objects as print outputs. Or you can also pass these objects to a prefab. Understand? To we can also simplify this. We can simplify this by adding list. So let's add a list. Let's say mission. Okay, missions equal to new array list. So mission, array list mission. Here list util and array list util. Right. So in this case, the missions will be added in the list. So instead of doing that, I simply say for, right, the array is having all the values. So I will say JSON object, okay, obj colon, or JSON object o1 o colon, just the name, nothing else. Okay. ARR1 dot ARR1, yeah, this will have problems. Exactly, this will have problems. So I can't use like this. I might have to use for loop. For loop. So int I equal to 0, I less than ARR1 dot length. Since it's an array, it has length. And I plus plus. What do I say? Missions dot add new mission. So what mission? ARR1 dot get JSON object of I. Done. So now you have all the missions here. Simple. Now instead of saying like this, what I will say, I will simply say for mission m missions, okay, system out. Let's add some overhead like this, list of missions. So what list of missions we have? Slash n and this. So here we have name m dot get name plus, or new line, system out reward m dot get reward. Nice. So every time we do that, we make a line in between, save it, and once you execute this, here it is, list of missions, mission 1 reward, mission 2 reward, mission 3 reward. Done. You get it? This is what I'm talking about. So instead of writing system out, I'm simply just grouped everything. I read the file, I passed the file into the JSON array, and I simply created the JSON array and added everything into a mission object, and then used that object to create a list of missions. So whenever the program executes, you will see like this. You will see a neat and clean execution. List of missions, mission 1, mission 2, mission 3. You can easily understand what this is, right? So instead of reading this way, we are reading this way. So instead of reading this, we are reading this. Which is easier, this or this? This one, right? So this is what I'm talking about. So if I want to change it here, for example, I said mission 10, right? I don't have to touch the code anymore. I'm just changing in the JSON now. Now see, if I execute this, mission 10, done. If I say I don't want to give 100, I want to give 1000. So I simply change the JSON. I'm not changing the code anymore. So now mission 1000. Easy? This is what I'm talking about. We create the framework and then use this framework to execute the object. The objective of this program is to show the mission.json file into prefabs, right? So these prefabs will be essential to showing the JSON objects. So instead of now you can picture this. instead of showing it like this, I will show prefabs here, right? What do I do in Unity? I'll say game object obj1 equal to instantiate, okay, prefab comma content or parent, whatever parent I have. Right now you say obj1 dot get component what tmp underscore text dot text equal to m dot get name. So when I say name, it will show the name. Understood? So the same way I again write the second part, and I will say get reward. Done. The second component is reward. Simple, easy. So this is what I'm talking about. This part is the only difference. As I said, C# and Unity and Java are almost similar. Okay, even though the program looks different, they are almost similar. The only thing different here is this. We are showing in a prefab in Unity, whereas in Java I'm showing it in a console. The only thing difference is here. Everything else is same. Well, in this case we are loading from file like this, load from path, whereas in C# I will say JSON utility from JSON, right? From JSON, and I'll pass the JSON like this. So in Unity, what I'll say, I will say like this. So JSON utility dot from JSON what is the object? Mission. So where is it from? It is from missions dot JSON. So it will convert each and every object directly from the JSON file into a mission object file. This I will store into a list of missions equal to like this. So instead of writing this part, I'll write this part. Understood? So this is what I'm talking about. C# and Java are almost similar. So you cannot say they are different, they are not same. Yeah, they are not same, but they are similar. That's what I'm talking about. They are similar, not same. Right? The logic is similar. The logic that we are using here is almost similar to JSON in Unity. So this is why I am showing this in Java. And also the reason I'm showing this in Java is because I can like write different things. For example, I want to change something in the code, I want to change something here, there, I can easily manipulate this. Whereas in Unity, if I change something in Unity, it will take a lot of time, it will waste a lot of time, right? So this is it for now. You understood the concept. So if you have any doubts in this, if you want to ask anything about this, you can ask in the comment section. Okay, and one more thing, I already made a file showing how to use JSON in Code Venture series. I will link that series in the description. You can go and watch those files. You can go and watch those videos. They have no voice, only text files. But if you prefer that kind of explanation, you can watch the videos. Okay, so this is the JSON loading in Java. Next class I'll show you how to, using this concept, using this mission.java and all that, I will do the same thing in Unity, and I'll show you how to load these things in prefab. Right? So see you next class, next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.